Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah, and today we are going to be going over my March reading wrap up. So every book that I read last month in the month of March. I have my little notebook here with my monthly reviews, although I only put 6 of the technically 10 books that I read in the month of March. So I'm going to be peeping at this sometimes because, some books that I read back in the beginning of March, my brain does not exactly remember everything that happened. Is anyone else like that? Like you read a book, you love it, and then like you put it down, someone asks you what it's about, you're like, I don't know, but I enjoyed it, because that is definitely me sometimes. Like I swear, some books that I read years ago, I could literally tell you what happened from the first page to the last page, the entire plot perfectly. And then other books, one that I read last month, I couldn't tell you one thing about. So yeah, I don't always know how these types of videos are gonna go, but that's okay. So yeah, I did read 10 books in the month of March. 2 of those were short stories, but if I can count a 1,000-page book as one book credit, one book towards my goal, then you can also count a 30-page book. I think that's more than fair. So I want to start out with my 5-star reads. I actually had multiple 5-star reads this month. I don't know how. I was beginning to worry about how many books I wasn't giving 5 stars to. I was wondering if it was like a me problem, or I was just like wasn't picking the right books, or what was going on. But then this month I had 3, 4, 5-ish. It was such a good reading month, I swear to God. So I'm gonna start with one that's actually not even in this, so this is useless right now. This is a fantasy called Blood Over Brighthaven. The cover is so shiny. This is written by M.L. Wong, who also wrote what it's called, The Sword of Kaigan, which is another popular epic high fantasy novel. This one, I don't know exactly what constitutes as a high fantasy, but this is definitely fantasy, not romantasy. I wouldn't even, I guess you can say there's the smallest subplot of fantasy in this, but the fantasy aspect and the magic system in this book is definitely the driving force of it. And I freaking ate this book up. Okay? It was amazing. It was so good. The magic system in this is so unique. This actually, on the cover, it's called a spellograph. That's how the mages in this world conduct magic. There's different steps to how they do their magic, and you have to actually source the magic, and there's a different spell for that. And it was just so interesting. It also deals with misogyny a lot. So the main plot point, what gets our main character into the mess of this book, is that she is the first female mage to reach her level of magedom. That's not a word. She works at this mage school / this is where also the mages basically run the city. They power the power in this city isn't like electricity, it's magic. So these mages power the city. And so she makes it to this level when no one thought that she could, or any woman ever would. And that she's very super smart, super intelligent, super deserves to be there. But that leads to a whole other set of problems when she discovers something, and then things snowball. And there's also this man who, his race is very looked down upon, they're like the servants. So it deals a lot with systemic racism in this book as well, but obviously in this world, and misogyny in this world, which is all very fascinating. And I don't want to say too much about the plot in this, but I would recommend this to everyone. And I actually did have this in here. I forgot that I wrote this in here, but The action in this book started immediately, like right off the bat. There was no lull. It was like right into it, and I really appreciated that. Like pretty much from the first page I was hooked, and there was no downtime in it. I did not see where the plot was going. I thought I did at one point and thought I like ruined the whole ending for myself. But then on that same page, it was like all revealed. So I didn't ruin it for myself. I was glad about that, because it went somewhere that I really didn't expect. Like it genuinely felt like I was reading like a history book. It was so, some things in it were so complicated, and I felt like I was sitting there rereading a paragraph being like, okay, I need to remember this because it's a part of history, but it isn't. It was just really well done. Yeah, I don't want to keep blabbing on about this, but would definitely recommend. I said we had multiple 5 stars, and these next 2 books are no exception. I read the first 2 books in the Sisters of the Salt series. There are 2 books out currently, and I believe the 3rd one comes out next year, which sucks. I do not want to have to wait for that, but unfortunately I'm going to have to, because these first, oh my god, they were both 5 stars. The first one is House of Salt and Sorrows. That is the cover there. The second one is House of Roots and Ruin. Now, I just want to say quickly that this series is an unfortunate child of the blank of blank and blank titles, which I think we really need to move away from, because these books, like this one, I do like and appreciate this cover. The colors really do catch my attention. I really like this. But the first book, like it just does not draw my attention. Like it's so dark. I feel like the cover like the title blends in with the background, and I didn't even realize what the cover was actually depicting until I was halfway through the book, and I really looked at it. I was like, oh, that actually checks out. But I didn't even, I guess, really look at it before, but also there was nothing drawing me to really look at it. This book was a gift from one of my subscribers on my ASMR channel, and I did want this. I was wanting this book. It was on my radar because I had heard about it, but if I hadn't, like, this isn't something that would have drawn me in, and I don't feel like it encapsulates what this book is about. Like the name of the series, Sisters of the Salt, that would have been such a better title for the first book. But anyways, thank you, Mila, for gifting this to me, because like I said before, both of these books were 5 stars. Like, this type of book is so up my alley. I love dark, gothic, Regency era-ish fantasies. Like, I just eat that up. Like, I gobble it up. So this book, the first one anyways, is quite literally, this is a Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses retelling. I don't know if Barbie, but the 12 Dancing Princesses retelling and inspired by. So this book is the 12 Dancing Princesses meets House of Hollow, which I forgot downstairs, but it's this book here, which was also a 5-star for me last year. So take this movie story, House of Hollow, smash them together. This is what you get. Like, you get the kind of overarching story of the 12 Dancing Princesses. You got the 12 sisters, the dancing, the magic, all of that. But make it a super gothic, creepy setting with death and more magic and gods. And it was so good. It was so good. And so many twists and turns that I was not expecting and was not expecting for this type of book. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, the story kept changing and things kept happening. And I just really loved it. And then the second book, we move away from the 12 Dancing Princesses, a completely different story, completely different setting. We're following one of the sisters from the first novel. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to give away anything, but it is now 12 years later in this one, and one of the sisters just needs to get away, so she ends up at this other castle estate, and things aren't quite as they seem there either. Say either because things, were going on here. But I just freaking ate this one up too. Again, so many like twists and turns that I was not expecting. And the writing too is beautiful and just flowery enough to not be like too much. Like it's still very easy to read, and they are YA, which is nice too. So, and there are I would say subplot of romance in this one. The romance in this one is more of the plot, but they still have very big plots on their own. Yeah. So 5-star, 5-star, 5-star pile. And then we move on to Miss Allie Hazelwood. I have a Libby account with my library, and that's how I listen to a lot of audiobooks, is through Libby, and a lot of books that I want to read have weeks and weeks of wait time. So basically whenever a book becomes available, that's the book that I will be reading or listening to on my super long daily commute. So this book became available in March, and I was very happy about that because I've been wanting to read this book for so long. This is Allie Hazelwood's YA romance, and I ate it up. I love Allie. I think she is so funny. Her writing is so good, but I laugh out loud all the time to what her characters say out loud in their mind. Everything, all of her books that I've read are just in the point of view of the female main character, and this one was no exception. But if you couldn't tell by the cover, it is a chess romance. So the main two love interests are basically chess prodigies. They're at the top of their game in chess. And yeah, I don't know what it is about chess, but I just find it so cozy and like wholesome. I do not play chess at all. I barely know the first thing there is to know about chess. But if something has to do with chess, like The Queen's Gambit, that limited series show on Netflix, ate that up. Loved it. I watched it again after reading this because I just needed those like cozy chess vibes. I don't know. I don't know, but I really, really, really loved this. I rated this a 4.75 only because the main female character was a tad bit annoying, a wee bit dumb. Like there's always some sort of miscommunication, and like there was one scene where they were in the car with someone and she pulls out a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I think, and the driver of the car is like, oh, like you can't do that. And she's like, but it's my, like, why? He's like, you have to put that away. And she's like, but it's my comfort food. And he's like, then you can suffer. Like back and forth. Like it's obvious that he's like allergic to peanut butter or has an intolerance or something. And it's just like not clicking. Like, really? Just like little things like that. It's like, come on, girl. You're like just this chess genius and you can't put 2 and 2 together. So yeah, just little things like that. But I was never once bored at all during this. And it's not even that long, but I feel like a lot went down. And the plot was plotting as well. Lots of chests. So yeah, really enjoyed. And next, Libby had me on an Allie Hazelwood kick this month because the other book that came available to me was Love on the Brain by Miss Allie Hazelwood. And I was okay with that because this is another one that the physical copy had been sitting on my shelf for 2 or 3 years, but no longer because I finally got to her, and I was really happy about that. This was the last of her like classic STEM romances that I hadn't gotten to. Her last 3 or 4 books, she's been kind of stepping away from her normal STEM romances and branching out a little bit. But I was excited to get to this one, and it did not disappoint. I've read all of her other books like this, and there's definitely a formula to it. Like small, petite girl who's a genius in her field, and big, large 6'4" man who's also a genius in his field, and they end up like working together on something. But honestly, I don't even care. She can write 10 more books like this and I will enjoy them all just the same. Like, the characters are all different enough, and I feel like I see myself, besides the genius part, in a lot of her characters, which is really nice. And again, just like the banter and like how did she think of this stuff? Like so many random things that the main character says. Her name is B. Yeah, it was just a good time, and I was never bored during it. I loved the romance. The main issue I had with this one was, again, be like the main character being kind of dumb at some points, and the main issue like in the story was a communication error, which normally communication errors are my least favorite, because it's like if you literally just said X, Y, and Z, there would be no issues at all. Like so many books are like that. And I get it. Without that communication error, there would be no book. But also, could we not have come up with like something else? So, besides that, because it's Allie, I still enjoyed My Time Thoroughly. And yeah, I just love how she actually has a plot in her books. And they're funny, well written. This one is not YA. This is definitely adult. But I don't find she has too much smut, like too much spice in her books either, because I don't like too much of that. But there's really just like one main scene and then maybe a little sprinkled in. So yeah, 4.5 stars. Moving on to one of the 2 short stories that I read in March. This is The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. This is my version of it. Look at that. Where are the pages? There are 21 pages in this book. Yep. A whole 21 pages in there. I don't know when this was written, but it's definitely an older story. I don't even want to call it a book. Like it's a story. It's a short story. 21 pages. It's definitely older. I wish I had looked up when it was written, but this is such a fascinating story. Like I feel like everyone should read this. I had heard like one person talk about it when I first joined the book community a few years ago, and I'm so glad that I finally got around to it. I had heard it's just about this woman descending into madness from looking at yellow wallpaper. And in essence, that's exactly what it is. I don't look at reviews of books until after I've read them because I don't want to be influenced. But once I've read a book and rated it on Goodreads, I will read through some of the reviews. And there's one review that I want to read that I felt resonated with me and just really summed up what this book is about very well and precisely, better than I think I could. So this is an interesting name. I don't know how you could have such a long name, but Con, first of her name, Mother of Bunnies, says, women's mental problems have always been dismissed as hysteria from the beginning of time. It is this overwhelming diminution of mental problems that led to so many being institutionalized in the past, and it is the reason why repressed Victorian women was such a tremendous symbol of the age. That mentally unsound character recurs again in this little short story, an exceptionally fine example of how a woman neglected, belittled, dismissed, descends into insanity. Like that just perfectly sums this up. I somehow managed to read a lot of books this month about misogyny and women's rights and all that. But I'm not mad at it. So yeah, I just think that like all of that was really well executed in so few pages. Like this woman's husband, they're at this like summer house or whatever, and this woman's husband is just dismissing her clear mental illness and just thinks she needs to rest. Like, no. But I just hope that we have moved on from this as a society. Yeah. I rated this 4 stars, by the way. And next I might as well talk about the other short story that I read this month. It is part of a collection on Kindle Unlimited that Amazon does. They did a like Christmas romance one last Christmas. They've done another one, and this was like, I think they're all kind of dark stories, maybe for one Halloween, I don't know. But anyways, I've just read this one, and it's called The 6 Deaths of the Saint by Alex E. Haro. One of my subscribers on my ASMR channel like months ago told me to read this because she thought I would really like it, and I couldn't find that comment anymore. But I finally got around to reading it because another ASMR artist that I follow, she posted that she read it. I was like, oh my god, I've had this downloaded on Kindle Unlimited for months now. Let me actually, get around to it. So I finally did, and oh my god, am I so glad that I did. It is 31 pages long, and it is insane the amount of story and impact and depth and symbolism and love that she was able to put in those pages. Like, I will probably reread it, and this honestly, like, multiple times, because I finished it and I sat there like speechless for a minute. Like, I was like, how do I feel this much? How did I just get that much information and feeling from this? Like, what? Like, it actually blew my mind. It was so well done. It's about this dying servant girl, and the Saint of War comes to her and pulls her from death, basically, because she has a greater purpose in life to serve the prince, like soon to be king. And so she does, and she becomes great. And I don't want to say what happens and where the story goes without kind of ruining it, because I went in completely blind, and just the trajectory of the story and seeing everything come full circle was really cool. So yeah, would highly recommend that story. I made my mother read it and she loved it. I made my boyfriend read it, who does not read at all. He's still in the middle of it, but he is really enjoying it. So that's an accomplishment. 5 stars for that one. And now moving back to physical books, although I did listen to this one on audio. It is the first book in, I don't know what the series is called, but there are like 7 or 8 books now in this series. This is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman, and these are the newer covers on them, which are just so fun. I love them. But I've recently, been seeing this series everywhere on Book Talk, and everyone saying how good the audiobooks are and that you have to listen to the audiobooks. And I was like, okay, I will do that, because the concept of these books just sounded really cool as well. The genre of these is lit RPG, which I didn't know was a thing, but it is super cool. A super duper cool concept for these. So it's like basically the apocalypse. Like, the earth has everything on the earth, all buildings, shelter, everything has collapsed, and the aliens have turned all of the material on earth into these dungeons and basically made a game show out of humans, who now, the remaining humans who survived the initial collapse, had a choice, I think, either to die or to enter these dungeons and try to make it to level 18. I think there are 18 levels. I don't know if it says in this. I don't think so. But Carl goes in alone with his ex-girlfriend's cat, and when he enters it, the RPG part comes in, because now his like life turns into basically like a video game. The way his vision is, it turns into like a UI, so he can see his health, and he has an inventory, and there's like a map that he can pop up of the dungeons. So really, really cool to almost be like reading a video game in a way, but there is still plot to it. The pacing in this was a little bit off for me, like not a ton of formatting to it. It was very like one note, like no real climax or anything to it. Like lots of go, 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 go. So many boss battles going on, maybe too many in my opinion. But I am still definitely intrigued enough to continue with this series. So yeah, I already used another Audible credit on the second book because it's only on Audible. Unfortunately, Libby will not be saving me with these. So yeah, I have downloaded the second one. I don't know when I'll read it. I'm not like dying to, but I'm definitely intrigued and interested. I think I rated this one 3.75, which is still very good. Maybe 3.5. Still good. And next we have one that was a highly anticipated read for me. I've been seeing this one again for years and wanting to read it for years, but you know, there are just so many books. Sometimes it takes a while to get to some, but this is Bunny by Mona Awad, and everything I had heard about this was just how weird and disturbing this book is, and it definitely is both of those things. Like, this was advertised to me, and all the genres say it's like a literary fiction horror novel, and as much as like, yes, it is weird, I don't think it was like too weird. Like, I don't know, I wasn't like shocked by it or that disturbed. Like, I don't know if I would classify it as a horror. Well, maybe. I don't know. See, I don't know if that's just me. Like, there are probably most people would say it's super disturbing and classify it as a horror, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just messed up in the head to where I don't think that it is. Or maybe my expectations for it were just so high that it let me down a little bit, which I hate that. When people put all these expectations in your mind for something, and then when you experience it, you're let down. When if you didn't have all that outside noise and you just went into it, you probably would have really liked it because you didn't have expectations. So that could be the case here. But I still liked it. I rate it a 3 stars. So I liked it. I just haven't thought about it at all. And the main problem I had with it is that the main character, Sam, so it's also like dark academia. They go to this prestigious writing like university, and she kind of gets pulled into this group of basically a cult of these 4 girls who call each other Bunny all the time. Like, oh, Bunny, I miss you, Bunny, I love you, Bunny, I love you, Bunny. Like, they're super weird, constantly together. They are a cult together. And she gets brought into it by them. Like, they like let her in. And yeah, they definitely do some weird messed up things. There's like an element of magic. I don't know if it's magical realism, I guess. So my main criticism is that she's now part of this group, and I just felt like her time with them was super duper rushed. I would have loved to see more of that. It's like, cause I think she was with them for like months, but the months that she was with them went by in like a paragraph, and then all of a sudden we had moved on. Like, I just felt like everything that happened afterwards would have been a lot more impactful if if we had seen more of her time with them. Because everything that happened after, I'm like, why are you acting this way, or why is this happening? Like, you were barely with them. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, just a little bit disappointing, which sucks, because I do love this type of thing. So 3 stars. Okie smoky. And the last whole book that I read in March, I actually had started in February, and that is Tower of Dawn, the 7th and second last book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, a chonky fellow here. It is very popular to read this along with Empire of Storms in tandem, like together, back and forth, because they happen at the same time but in different places. And I had started to do that in February, but I didn't end up loving it, so I read and finished Empire of Storms last month, and then finished this up in March, and I was glad with that decision. People do that because this book is a lot slower, and it definitely started out slow. I wasn't super loving it at first. Like, we're in a completely new setting, new characters for the most part, definitely a lot slower, but I ended up really, really liking it. Like, by the end, I was eating it up. I cried, like, full on tears in the last chapter or two. So it definitely did end up leaving an impact on me. And I won't say anything really more about the plot because there is only one book left in the series after this one. But I did end up rating it 4 stars. Still really enjoyed. And now I need to move on to Kingdom of Ash, the final book in the series. That is 1,000 pages long. Like, that's insane. I'm probably going to start it tonight because I want to try to read it like all in this month. But also we don't need to rush. I've been trying to get better at that, like taking my time with books, not rushing, just enjoying the read, enjoying the process. Speaking of that, this book, Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, amazing book, by the way. It's a brief history of humankind. Like, we literally start at the dawn of time, and I am now at the scientific revolution. This book, I think I started in January. I've been, taking my time with it, essentially. I'm not rushing it. Like, it's a dense nonfiction history book, essentially. I hit my water. So I read part of this in March as well, and will continue it into April. Maybe I'll finish it in April. Maybe I won't. Who cares? Who cares? We're reading for enjoyment, not just to get as many books read as possible, which is something I still work on, and I think is a problem now in the book community. Everyone's trying to read, but we need to slow down and just enjoy what we're reading. So this one I'm really trying to do that with. So yeah. With that said, that is going to be it for today. If you are into ASMR or whatnot, I did mention my channel a couple of times. I promise I won't always do that. But I do already up on my ASMR channel have an ASMR whispered version with book triggers and stuff already up on my channel. So there are 2 different versions of this video, not up on this channel, on my ASMR channel, which I'll always have linked in the description for you. So yeah, if you made it this far in this video, wow, thank you. I'm shocked because I am losing my voice, but I very much appreciate that. Definitely consider subscribing to the channel. I have one other video up on the channel so far, but so many ideas and content that I'm really excited to film on this channel. This is the first time I'm like sitting here in a video. It's my new chair. It's actually a really comfy reading nook, by the way. Anyways, thank you. I'm awful at outros. Please go take care of yourself, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!